For more than a decade, the BGK family has been a champion of dreams. It's the dreams of those who work for a better tomorrow that drive us to reach our greatest potential. We are here to support our kingdom partners, their families, their ministries, and our communities.
BGK 24/7 Online Christian TV Network. Making what was once impossible, possible.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of In View with Sam and Donardo. I am Sam Wajir-Kuma, and I am so excited to be here. It's National Month Against Human Trafficking, and it's wonderful to be able to talk to you guys about the anti-trafficking movement.
And I'm Dr. Donardo Ramos, and I'm so excited to be able to talk to you today about a topic that's very important to us.
And that topic is freedom. It is Martin Luther King weekend, and we are so honored to be able to celebrate that on the show today because freedom is something he fought for every day, along with social justice, and it's something that we want to really highlight as we celebrate because it is a need to celebrate freedom. At the end of the day, freedom is something that we all want in our lives. And as somebody who lost her freedom for a season, both to trafficking and to imprisonment, I can tell you that not having your freedom is really difficult. Just imagine a teenage girl who is told what to eat, what to drink, what to wear, when to eat, when to drink, how to behave in every circumstance. Imagine what that's doing to their psyche. And that was definitely my story. And those of you who know me well or who work with me will tell you that I still have an aversion to being told what to do. It tends to trigger me really heavily, right? I much prefer working it out together than being ordered to do something. And you'll see my heckles rise quite quickly if you order me to do something because it immediately triggers me back to my days of trafficking. And when you lose your freedom, there's something that happens that makes you feel disempowered. There's something that happens that completely destroys your self-esteem. There's something that happens that just changes your outlook on life because you no longer have the ability to make choices. And making choices is empowering. Problem is, and we see this every day when we bring survivors who've been trafficked together, is that once somebody makes every decision for you, exercising that decision muscle again and being able to make those choices for yourself instead of living for the moment becomes much, much more difficult. And this is yet another reason why freedom is so important.
Absolutely. Freedom is very important. Unfortunately, those of us who have experienced trafficking know that what that's like. And when I think of this, I think of in the past few years of the injustices that have occurred within our societies. And when you think of this for the victims of human trafficking, that same injustice they're facing every day, they're reliving it every day. The inability to live freely, the inability to live their lives the way they want to, as Sam pointed out, to being told how to act, how not to act, where to go, what not to go, what to wear, what not to wear. It just rings a bell with some things of the injustices that have been some issues in the past few years within our societies, and these are the exact same thing that our survivors or these victims are dealing with. And the reason I bring it up is because we have an estimated 24.9 million people who have this same problems because the traffickers are making money off of them. Someone else is benefiting off of them being enslaved, off of them feeling as if they have no choice, no decision. There is zero tolerance. Although trafficking is illegal in most countries, it explodes where the law cannot enforce it. They find a way to skirt around being captured because it's a very difficult situation to prove that you have been trafficked. And so we need to stop traffickers. Survivors care is essential for us. But law enforcement doesn't always know how to stop traffickers. Like I said before, it's not always easy to prove that someone has been coerced and forced into trafficking. They will keep churning out more victims who need survivors' care. And what that means is the victims are the one who are being treated as if they are the ones who have caused the problem, as if they are the criminals, when in fact they are not the criminals. They are the one who are in need of the empathy of the law. They are the ones who need to be told and to feel as if the law is on their side, because right now the way things are, it is the traffickers who are able to escape the boundaries
I mean,
of the law.
the challenge is, right, that the annual profits from human trafficking exceed that of Apple, Microsoft,
Yeah,
Samsung,
yeah.
BP, Exxon combined, guys. If you combined all those giant companies' profits, it would still not be as much as trafficking organizations are making, because it is such a fast growing crime. And it's a crime without a face, because we have a paradigm shift we have to make if we're going to set these folks free. And part of that is the paradigm that we are forcing upon them by saying things like, well, prostitution should be legalized because, that will make it safer for those. Well, no, it's just going to increase the amount of people trafficked, because now it's not illegal to be working in that industry. Number two, if we look around at labor trafficking, which by the way makes up 60% of human trafficking around the world, we are allowing that trafficking to happen because we want cheap goods, right? And I know that we're in a state of inflation, and I understand that we have had a tough year in, the last couple of years with COVID and so many things, and we're looking for goods and services that give us value for money. But at the end of the day, folks, if you look at that item, and I applaud the dollar stores for increasing their prices beyond $1, knowing that they can't continue to sell things in this inflationary environment that would be made with slave labor if they continue to make it $1, right? And we all have to think about that as we're using our money, and as we're choosing to spend that money. How are we spending it is really important. Looking at organizations that are not advocating for the use of slave labor or in any way in their supply chains is really important. Asking those questions: where is your chocolate coming from? Where is your coffee coming from? Where are your bananas coming from? How are these things affecting the way that you shop? Are you going to choose to shop through free trade, where we can guarantee that the way that this stuff is coming to us is coming in a way that isn't using child labor or forced labor to happen? Are we sourcing our engagement rings and our diamonds from places that we can ensure that this is not blood diamond? Just because it's cheaper does not make it better, right? Are we choosing to buy our shoes from places where we know that the person who made that shoe is being paid at a living wage? Are we choosing to buy the shoes made from survivors, where we're providing microloans to give them businesses that they can run so that they don't have to resort to trafficking? There are favelas in Brazil where you can, for a US quarter, buy a person. That's not okay, folks. But if we instead were spending, $2 to buy the shoes that they were making, or other goods and services that they're making, hats and blankets and things, to provide them with a living wage, then that's really going to make a big difference in the long run.
Absolutely, because the solution is the trafficking collapses when traffickers go to jail. But the police and the persecutors cannot stop traffickers if they are never equipped to do so. And so we need to learn to be able to equip law enforcement so that they're able to recognize the sign themselves of what human trafficking looks like, and particularly the MO of the trafficker, which changes every day. As Sam said, there is no face to it, so that they're able to follow through with prosecution. The life of Martin Luther King is inspiring to those involved in social justice, and this is a social justice issue. King devoted his life in the struggle against segregation, against racism. He was a tireless advocate of equality, of peace on behalf of the poor. He made the ultimate sacrifice, as you know, because of his life in service and activism. And we really need to make that ultimate sacrifice as well, not to the degree necessarily of Dr. King, but the ultimate sacrifice of being a conscientious purchaser, of going above and beyond and thinking about what it is that we're purchasing. And if it is causing someone to be enslaved, is that really something I need? Is this the manufacturer, the company that I really need to make this purchase from? Is it really going to affect my life if I don't have this particular label, especially when I know this label is not out for the good, the justice, and the equality of all people?
Mm-hmm. And we are working really hard at Rahab's Daughters to create a system that you guys can actually recognize what is a traffic end zone company and certify these companies to be traffic end zones, so that you know that when you see that displayed on their door, that buying goods or services from them means that you are definitely buying from a company that has rules, regulations, and policies to not have human trafficking in their supply chain, to not have labor trafficking as a part of their labor force, and to make sure that their executives, their staff are all trained on what human trafficking looks like and how not to engage in it. We want this to be something that becomes global, such that each and every one of you is looking every day to make sure that how you're buying your goods and services are supporting those who are doing the right things to stop human trafficking. Because, folks, it's the second fastest growing crime, and it's growing because we're not paying enough attention to what's happening behind the scenes. When we walk into stores or go online and purchase things, we need to be thinking about what that looks like. And with the National Day of Service being on Monday, you guys get a chance to join this fight and help us abolish slavery. Come, get out in the field, help us educate businesses and educate residences about what human trafficking really looks like, because it doesn't look the way you think it does. Today, human trafficking looks like the folks who are being paid less than a living wage to take berries from the farms, to pick oranges, to take cotton, to create any sort of food chain, supply chain. Because, folks, there's just not enough folks who want those jobs. So but to have the cost of food remain reasonable, we're now forcing this sort of slave labor. It looks like the person doing your nails, right? Who doesn't speak English and isn't able to answer questions that you ask directly because they're being trafficked into servitude in this fashion. It looks like your next door neighbor who has a nanny who doesn't seem very happy because they're being forced into domestic servitude, right? Are you asking the questions? Because people are being trafficked in your view, in plain view. And that is what In View is all about. It's helping you recognize what's happening out there in the world so that you can recognize it and report it, folks. And the place to report it is first and foremost to the National Human Trafficking Hotline. 1-888-37-37-888 is our National Human Trafficking Hotline. And if you report it there, the more reports, the better. Secondarily, there's our hotline, right, Denaro?
Yeah, which is, what is it?
1-833-4-NEW-DAY. And you can call us as well. You can also visit our website, because, today, the modern day enslavement is something that we have to stop, right?
We do have to stop it because it is something that we cannot allow to persist. Injustice in one place is for one person is an injustice for anyone, Dr. King said. And so we need to make sure that we stop the injustice wherever we see it. And this is in one area where we have the ability to use our resources as a clear message of this is an injustice that we will not tolerate, that we will not stand for. And when you go, as Sam has mentioned, to your nail salons, be conscientious about what the service is and who's providing this service. Wherever you are in your neighborhood, be conscious of who is in your community, who works for your neighbors. Are they free to speak? Are they being left in the dark, literally? Do you never have an opportunity to speak with them without someone else speaking up instead? Being conscientious about our movement. Like I've started off saying, over the past few years, we've seen so much injustice. And one of the biggest concerns was that the person who has a voice, the one who has the privilege, not fully speaking up, not using their authority, their voice, their privilege, their right to speak up for those who do not have that ability. And this, my friends, is us having that privilege, having that right, having that ability. So no one else has to feel enslaved, feel in fear of living their lives the way God intended for them to live.
And one of the big activities that we're prepping for this year to stop modern day slavery is, of course, our big mission trip to Super Bowl City, which will kick off January 26th. And we will be partnering with It's a Penalty, the NFL, local law enforcement, task forces, and amazing organizations like Convergence Resource Center and Brave Global and so many other amazing partners to come together and provide a 24/7 call center. We have a dream to provide this every day of the year, 24/7, 365 at the same level. But for this moment, it will be answered live for 12 days from February 3rd through the 14th. And we look forward to having you guys work with us here. You can volunteer whether you are in Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Florida, or California. There are sites that are face to face where you can come in and volunteer. And if you'd like to do that, please sign up on our website under volunteer. We also need some supplies, folks, particularly gift cards. We need gift cards to Costco, to Walmart, to Target. We need gift cards for food. One of the things that we do when we do outreach is provide victims of labor and sex trafficking food. Because food is something that they're controlled by quite often, and it's a freedom that they lose. And we're able to give back that freedom of choice by giving them gift cards so that they can purchase food. So you can send those gift cards to us electronically to samw@rahabsdaughters.org or physically to our physical location, which is at 509 Old Northwest Highway in Barrington, Illinois. You can find these on our website, www.rahabsdaughters.org. But we need your help. We need hygiene supplies and gift cards, as many as you can, because it is our hope that in Super Bowl City we will be able to pass out 2,000 hygiene kits and have food options in those kits. And to do this, we need you. How can you help? By finding your churches, your local organizations, your Rotaries, your Lions clubs, your women's groups, whatever, and having them do a gift card drive and send those to us. It is vital that we have these, and we prefer them from national chains like Target or Walmart or Costco, places that girls can get easy access to quickly, or that we can take them to purchase food for their kids, diapers, those sorts of things, or that can be used online for those purposes, as well as immediate food at the local Burger King, McDonald's, Subway, Chick-fil-A, whatever your favorite fast food place is, when you go next, can you just pick up an extra card for $10 and send it to us, please? It would mean the world to these women because they really need the food and the freedom to make the choice to eat the things that they want to eat and to do the things that they want to do. And this is something I cannot explain to you. As somebody who was forced to eat things that they'd never eaten before, like hamburgers, I grew up without any beef in my life. And, as I was raised Hindu, it was extreme for me to then be forced to eat hamburgers. And in the beginning, when those were shoved under my door, I would just scrape the cheese off and eat it. But after a while, you're so hungry that you just, eat what's put in front of you, but it makes you sick. And this is what these young ladies are going through and what I went through myself. And you can help stop it by providing gift cards so that they can buy food, diapers, formula, and these sorts of things. So, we look forward to seeing the influx of these things happen. And we look forward to you guys staying tuned here to the BGK network.org and watching our internet TV broadcast, happening every other weekend at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. And we look forward to you educating yourselves in this season. Becoming a traffic end zone is one of the things that your household and your business can do. And if you'd like to learn more, you can hop onto our website, hit the contact us button, and let us know. And we will have a representative reach out to you so that you can learn how in this National Month Against Human Trafficking, you can take steps to become part of the solution, become that traffic end zone so that you can recognize the signs. And we'll teach you how to be a part of the community and a part of stopping the problem. And when you do this, you will see that it's all around you, and we will be able to educate you on this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all around. And when Sam was saying about the end zones for your family and your businesses, it's not just your home and your business, but you're also spreading it to other families. What you do will benefit other families and other benefits, and it will have them want to learn what it is that you've done differently, that people are respecting your business, they're honoring your family's name, and you have another opportunity to share what you've done, because ultimately it's for that face you may never ever know that you've helped. It's for that person you may never ever get an opportunity to meet, but you know that you've done something to help bring an end to this heinous crime. You know you've done something that will deter it from being on your block, in your community, and amongst the businesses and your business as well, and those you deal with.
Absolutely. I mean, today what we are seeing out there is that there is a huge amount of lack of education or miseducation about what human trafficking really looks like. And if you want the real story, folks, you're going to have to tune in and learn more for yourselves, right? You can't trust what the media is saying. You can't trust the sensationalization of this topic. But what you can trust is real education from real survivors. And over the next, few months, we hope to bring to you folks working in the industry, and we look forward to telling you about how our kickoff goes. Our next episode is the 29th of January, and we look forward to seeing all of you there as you continue to watch this amazing internet broadcast. And thank you to BGK Network for continued sponsorship to have us on the air so that you can learn more, because knowledge is power in this situation.
Absolutely. It is.
And it's really important that you follow us on social media, because right now, every day, we are putting out a fact about human trafficking. You can catch up on the last 15 and see 16 more, because we'll do one every day in the month of January. So if you aren't already following us on LinkedIn or Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, please follow us on your favorite social media platform, because we want to educate you with the facts of what's happening in human trafficking and give you ways that you can be a part of the solution instead of a part of the problem. And we look forward to you tuning in with us really soon.
Absolutely. And if you'd like more information, go ahead onto our website again, as Sam has said, www.rahabsdaughters.org, rahabsdaughters.org, and follow us on social media. Click like and share, so that you can make sure that we hit a greater audience and you are benefited from what you've done in secret.
Folks, I can't tell you how important it is to have your support. Whether that support is educating others this month, if you'd like to become a community educator, we need you so much right now. We have so many requests to go into schools and Girl Scout troops and Boy Scout troops and church youth groups and, schools and sporting events and educate the kids, their parents, the coaches on what to look for in human trafficking. And if you would like to be a part of that and you are a good communicator, then please go on to our website and hit the volunteer button and tell us about the areas in which you would like to volunteer.
Because we can definitely find something for you.
Yeah, every skill is necessary. But most importantly, please educate yourselves about the signs of human trafficking. And we're going to leave you today with a video about how to see the signs. And please share this video with anybody who needs to know. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful
See you next time.
Bye.
Growing illegal global business, generating $150 billion each year. It is the second largest criminal industry in the world. Almost 25 million people are trafficked each year, and 1 in 4 victims are under the age of 18. Most of us would imagine that human trafficking involves someone being kidnapped, moved across borders, and exploited by strangers. This can be the case. But most people are trafficked within their own countries and cities, and coerced into exploitation, often by people they know. During high-profile events and major sporting events, with the influx of hundreds and thousands of people into the hosting cities, exploitation can increase. People are trafficked for forced labor and sexual exploitation, regardless of age, background, or location. Traffickers may threaten their victims with violence or blackmail, take advantage of their vulnerability, or promise an opportunity for a better life in order to control them. Here are some of the signs to look out for. Victims may be easily startled, agitated, or afraid, unsure of where they are or lack official ID, unable to explain injuries or possessions, may have strange markings, brandings, tattoos, have unexplained hotel use, be accompanied by a suspicious companion. Children can be dressed up to look older than they are. If you're watching this and you are being exploited or you think you have seen something, then say something. Join our campaign. Together we can end exploitation and human trafficking. Thank you.